How many of you have noticed the cycles of abuse that play out from one generation of family members to another? And how often do we watch in bewilderment thinking, why would they do that to their son when the father did the same to them? They know the pain. Cynthia James was the product of 5 generations of abusive behavior against the women in her bloodline, but the cycle stopped with her. After a lifetime of pain, followed by gaining 2 master's degrees, one in psycho-spiritual healing, she realized that we enter into family agreements to heal that which has not been healed.
Yeah, I was going through a master's program in spiritual psychology at the University of Santa Monica, and part of the curriculum was we had to do a genogram. And so I had my grandmother's journals, I was talking to my mother, my aunts, and I started tracing. 5 generations of women had been abused, violated. My great-great-grandmother had been raped on a hill by a slave master in front of everyone and conceived a child. And of course,
Oof, giving me the chills.
Yeah. So treated the child, hated the child, of course.
Right.
And so I didn't know at that time, because I hadn't delved deep into what I do today, that those patterns just got carried on. And when I started tracking, there were even similar experiences. My mother's father would lock her underneath the house for punishment. And when I was a 3-year-old, the woman who took care of me would lock me in the basement. Now, what that said to me is that there was energetics in the body that were attracting itself. Mm-hmm. And what I learned is that when a wound happens, the natural state of the whole body and your energetic, your soul, is to bring it back to wholeness. But if something happens and it's strong enough and you make a decision, an intellectual or a spiritual or emotional decision, it keeps attracting itself until it heals.
Yes.
So 5 generations of women, and at one point, my path of discovery has been relationships, and so after, relationship after relationship, I was like,
seeing a few patterns
yes,
there?
Exactly. And the common thread is me. Mm-hmm. And it was like, okay, so I need to get to the fact that there's something in me that needs to be healed. And if the quantum physicists are right, and there's no time and space, if I heal, I affect the patterns of all the generations before me and those to come. And so that started my work.
This conversation delves into some very personal and painful memories common to many, which Cynthia had to overcome. For the full-length interview, go to cmn.tv.